Oh, Marius, good evening. How are you? Since you were first tonight, Marius, I thought I would go and grab Michael's first ever Space Marine. Michael is 4. I helped him mix the paint, but I think he did great, honestly. He got the store manager at the Warhammer shop was nice enough to give both my kids one of these, where you got one Infernus Marine and one Stormcat. They already built. So it was just like, here's the Stormcast. I was actually thinking of keeping this and see if I can just convert him into a Blade Guard. I mean, I need more Blade Guard. He looks like he's on the right size base. That'll be a bit cheeky. Could this be a Blade Guard? Just mix him into the squad, no one would really notice, right? But yeah, so he wanted to copy the box art of the Ultramarine. So I mixed some like blue together for him in some contrast paint. And then just let him go to town with like a crappy old brush. I think he really enjoyed it. He doesn't really know how to hold a pencil either, so yeah. My son's a traitor. He's going for the blue Marines. Vintage Flanker, good evening. Scuba, good evening. Mary says I managed to resist buying the box. There were some good prices on the box here in the UK. I got mine for £148, I think, including shipping. So it was like £37 cheaper than the Games Workshop stuff. Which isn't too bad, considering I'm gonna trade the orcs away for more Marines, right? Didn't seem too bad. Hello, Rathian. Hello, Mr. Kazumi. Bro, I'm so Orlando says, bro, I'm so new on Warhammer and totally fell in love with Everything Blood Angels. I went crazy and bought Everything Blood Angels named in as your guide said. Cool. The danger of going crazy, I didn't even know there was a GT at Lock and Load tonight, dude. You know what, maybe Kenny invited me, but no, I feel like I can only go to so many tournaments every so many months because kids, man. Me and my wife are in strung out shape, you know. Kids are doing both of our heads in. So yeah, it's one of those. Did I get anything pre-ordered? Just the new box, Miles. Good evening. Mr. Kazumi's trying hard to hold off buying the new box. I mean, if you can get a good price on it, it's not the worst investment. I feel like I'm going to use probably use the 2 land speeders. Might use some of the Vanguard vets. Probably upgrade my old chaplains to the Primaris chaplains. You know, I need the rules, I need the cards. So it's not too bad. I was working on the AI camera. I don't know if you guys have been following the channel, but I've bought this new AI camera that I've now attached to the roof where we play battle reports, and I'm working on some software so that the AI camera can like hopefully like follow model movements around the table. It looks like it's going to work pretty well. but I had to buy some cable it didn't have, and oh my god, the cables for cameras are ridiculous these days. So I've got a cable coming, but the zoom on the camera and the lens is really, really nice. So I think there's a really good chance that our battle reports for the new edition will hopefully be like one step up in terms of quality. That's what I'm aiming for. Good evening, Campbell. Hello, Eternal Crusader. Did anyone not manage to get the box? Anyone that was wanting it got screwed? I was in such a rush to get the box pre-ordered that I went onto the website, got it pre-ordered, and then I, for a second, was like, hold on, was there anything else that I wanted to pre-order today, or was it just the box? But I was just so fixated on getting the box into the basket and getting it ordered as soon as possible. So I completely forgot to check for anything else, right? I don't think there was anything else major. Wayland Games still has stock. Good evening, Jim. I would love to make a video on exposing how to build a Blood Angels list. Dude, I literally make that video every 3 months. Maybe... Basically, every single time I build a tournament list, I just film it. Because I feel like some people like to know how my brain works, I guess, when I'm doing tournament lists. Every time a new book comes out with new rules, new codex, I make videos on those rules and the lists. So, I mean, as soon as we've got some 11th edition rules, you can pretty much guarantee that there will be a video by me on how to make a Blood Angels list. That is something that I will be doing 100%, Orlando. I ordered the Captain, Chaplain, Armageddon Ancient and Gravis Marines from eBay. Oh right, people are selling them on eBay already. What did you pay then, Eternal Crusader? Like, did you get good prices on all of it, or was anything expensive? I never even thought to check eBay today, honestly. I was just pleased to get the box ordered. Because I think I've said, like, my kids have football lessons on a Saturday morning, so it was like, it's going to be difficult for me to pre-order. I hate pre-orders because football lessons. So I'm usually stood in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere trying to pre-order. It's a nightmare. $13.50 for the characters, $17 for the Gravis Marines. Okay, some good prices then, I guess. Are people still selling stuff on eBay, or is eBay? I got the lore book for $11.50. There you go, Marius. Good for you. Cool. So nobody got screwed. Did anyone get screwed, or everyone's good? Guys, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, please always remember to leave a like. I wish you were coming to the Edinburgh Super GT. I mean, maybe someday, dude. But like at the moment, honestly, me and my wife are just really struggling with the kids. We don't get a lot of babysitting where it's just like we get time to ourselves, and we are struggling. So it's, you know, part of the reason is why I don't go to many tournaments that require me to go away and stay overnight. I don't even know if the kids are being just particularly difficult, or if we're just being if we're particularly struggling. Either or, who knows? Who knows? So after painting my Ballistus Dreadnought to almost completion, I was looking at him earlier today and slapping some more microsol on his transfers. I need to give him a coat of Lamium Medium over the top of the transfers. I'll probably do that tonight. I decided that the next thing I probably should finish for whatever, for 11th edition launching, should be this impulsor that I've been sat on for ages. I think I've got 3 impulsors. This is number 3. Again, it comes down to I already paid 2 in red and didn't want to do a third one in red. So this is a Death Company repulsor, which obviously takes a lot longer to paint, I guess, than a red one. But I figure this thing is pretty close. You know, like I've done a lot of work on it. How do I feel about 2 Lancers? People have done well with 2 Lancers in tournaments. I tried a list with just 2 Lancers. It wasn't my favourite, but then I feel like I've been getting carried by Vindicator tanks this edition. Generally, if you're going to take Lancers, 2 are probably the right number. Arathian says, non-Warhammer related, but thanks to the recommendation on the calorie app from a few streams ago. It's very handy looking at my fitness in general. Oh, dude, you're so welcome. I'm so I'm just so passionate about fitness. There was actually like a study that came out like just this week, like a giant study that tracked like, what was it? It was like, if you Google it, just like, do you know what? I'll just Google it and tell you. Yeah. So there was a study this week that said if you lift weights for 90 to 120 minutes per week, so that's literally 2 sessions of 1 hour, you reduce your chance of premature death by 13 to 15%, you reduce cardiovascular disease by like 20%, and you reduce neurological disease, I think neurological diseases like Alzheimer's and stuff like that, by 27%. Like it's just mental the benefits you can get from doing very simple weightlifting. Yeah, that's actually, now that it's June, I've been anyone interested in bolt eradicators? I don't think I am. I mean, somebody's probably interested in them. I don't really know how I fit them into a list, right? Like, Blood Angels generally don't need too much more to kill chaff, I feel like. But yeah, now that it's June, that means two years. I have been lifting weights now every week for 2 years, and I think it's made a big difference. And I was saying to my friend Colin, you know, at Warhammer tournaments, when you're like on game like 3 or 4 and your back's absolutely killing you from leaning over the table. Like, see, since I started lifting weights, I mean, I get a little bit of a sore back, maybe from playing like 5 games of Warhammer, but like, it's giantly better, right? Like, it's just, it's not even in the same level of pain. So if you're thinking about starting to lift weights, I would highly recommend it. You should do it. It feels like it's really good for you. Yeah, I wouldn't buy Vindicator tanks right now. It's just too risky. I know that they showed that like tactical squads and stuff still have rules in the new edition. I just think tactical squads are still very risky. Tactical squads, Devastator squads, I think all that stuff is a risky proposition. Yes, they have rules right now, but for how long, I guess. I'd be so surprised if tactical squads survive the whole edition. Like I just did not see that coming, I guess. Like, I was convinced that they would be legends by now. Good evening, Chickenman King. I need to work out my back and change my posture for painting. Yeah, I mean, working out your back is probably just really important in terms of, like, as you get older, man. I'm getting older, though. So I wonder if, like, my passion for weightlifting is just because I was starting to get old and I'm starting to get, you know, if I don't do stuff, I'll get stiff. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Burger Lords has got a GT next Sunday. They're using 11th edition layout and 10th edition rules. I was going to say, if you're playing 11th edition next Sunday, it's going to be an absolute mess because no one will know what the fuck they're doing. But cool. Yeah, sometimes at the very end of editions you get weird times where you're using new terrain or you're using old rules. It can happen. There's not much you can do about it, right? We had that when we put a tournament on, I think it was June or July, and we had the same nonsense where, like, the week before the tournament, there was like a data slate, and people were saying, oh, we should use the new data, or I think it was a new chapter approved. And I was saying, like, well, if we do play the new chapter approved, no one's going to know how to play it, right? So there's going to be mistakes that are made. But everyone was like, yeah, let's play the new chapter approved. I actually ended up winning that tournament, even though I was the one person saying, don't play the new chapter approved. And one of my games was definitely because, one of my wins was definitely because one of my friends had never played the new chapter approved, so made a couple of mistakes. So I guess take what you will from that, right? I found some Old Metal Death Company and 10 Firstborn Vanguard Veterans and 15 Firstborn Sanguinary Guard on top of what Primaris Jump Pack Intercessor already have. I kind of want to paint Vanguard Veterans as SC and count the Firstborn Vanguard Veterans as Primaris. Yeah, I mean, I play all my Firstborn models as Primaris nowadays. I don't care about any of that nonsense. If my like, I've been playing Sanguinary Guard, regular Firstborn Sanguinary Guard as Primaris Sanguinary Guard. Now, I've played them in multiple tournaments, nobody cares. Just make sure they're on the right size bases, and then nobody cares. So you're not going to lose access to your old models because they're smaller or anything like that. No one really cares. What people care about is, are your models on the right size bases? Hello Frankie, how you doing? Good evening. But yeah, I'm excited to finally have pre-ordered the new stuff, because I think we're in a bit of limbo here for longer than I care for, right? Like, I usually do one battle report a week on my channel. I think in the last, like, 6 weeks I've done, like, one battle report. It's just like, we're just this weird limbo where everybody's kind of waiting for the new edition, and nobody really wants to do too many battles, and yeah. So I'm really happy that we're finally moving forward. We finally have some pre-ordered stuff, you know. I think that's good. It's good. Greetings, just signed in. Did you hear anything about the tactical squads? I mean, I didn't hear anything except that they obviously still exist, for now at least, because they're on some of the data sheets, right? I still think their days are numbered. Do you remember that? I was going to say, that reminds me of the first... I literally just watched the 1986 Transformers movie with my kid the other week. And like, one of the first lines is like Ironhide, and he's like, your days are numbered now, Deceptor creeps. Man, I must have watched that movie 100 times growing up. So yeah, I think Tactical Squad's days are still numbered, Harry. Good evening. But, I mean, for now, they're there. High BAC, I resisted getting the box, so it was 145 in Wayland Element Games, but it stayed in stock on a site called Imp. I've been running Bloodless Angels because of... I've been running quite Bloodless Angels because of buying big boxes. Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like... I mean, someone else mentioned to me that today that they were like, the box is still in stock. I think they're starting to price... It's starting to get pretty expensive. I know there's inflation, and I know, like, whatever you want to call it, 145 bucks isn't as much as, you know, like, I think that they're rising it above inflation, right? Because I think the last box was like 120 bucks 3 years ago. So if it's gone up to 100, it's gone up to 108. Well, I think the last box was 150, it's gone up to 185, right? So, how does that rate against inflation? That's like somewhere in the region of 20-25%. I think they're definitely getting to a point where, like, people are not quite as desperate to get it at that price. Would that be fair? I do wonder, like, because I obviously want to try and do a battle report on the day it launches. You know, like, I obviously have a channel that does battle reports, and being, I would say, reasonably concurrent, reasonably up to date with new content is important for me. But if I didn't care about if I didn't care about at least trying to get some battle reports out the week it came out, would I be just willing to do what other people have done, obviously, and just wait and pay quite a bit less? I'd have probably waited. I'm usually, in most of the things that I do in life, I'm usually really careful with money, or is careful the right word? I don't know if careful or cautious is the right word, but like, I wouldn't say I'm extravagant in any way, shape or form, right? So yeah, I can totally understand why there is still stock, because it is getting very expensive. I believe in Australia it was like $500. I saw a video from Frugal. Yeah, I'm probably quite frugal. I'm more likely to spend money on my kids than I am to spend money on myself. But I don't know if that just makes me a good dad, or maybe I just don't really feel like I need things for myself at this point. Does that make sense? But yeah, I really do think that I might have not bought the box if I wasn't caring about trying to put out some battle reports early. It won't even be early, right? Because all the big channels obviously already have the box. I guess I just want it on the launch day. It's a tough one. I get it. I think that if people are wondering why it hasn't sold out, then at some point it comes down to price, right? Like, it is getting very expensive, and if you're on the fence about it at that sort of price, plus it's not even that great for veterans, right? Like, we've talked about that a few times on the stream, where like it's much more of a starter box. But like, if it's aimed as people starting, £185 is a big investment if you don't know if you like this hobby, right? Like, you wouldn't go to Amazon and buy £185 of, I don't know, of a TV show. Like, I'm not very into TV shows these days. Like Game of Thrones, right? Like, you could get, I'm sure on Amazon there's a box set for like all 10 seasons of Game of Thrones. It probably costs somewhere in the region of like $200, right? For 10 seasons. Oh, or maybe Game of Thrones was 8 seasons, I forget, sorry. But my point is, it's a big ask, right? If you're not even sure you particularly like Game of Thrones, you're not going to go and buy 10, you're not going to pay $185, right? I mean, maybe you will. I probably wouldn't. I thought the US price was crazy. Australia price is just insane. I can't imagine they'll sell that many there. Yeah, I mean, at some point they probably need to not put 1,000 points of both armies in that starter box. You know, one thing that I was thinking was, like, I don't know if you guys care at all. Some of you do, some of you probably don't. But StarCraft. There's a StarCraft game coming out. And whether or not you care about StarCraft is kind of irrelevant. What is relevant is, like, let me see if I can find it for a sec. So, like, StarCraft are doing the same sort of thing, right? Where it's like, you can get a 2-player starter set for $150. But if you just wanted to go, like, one army, you could just go one army, right? Like, it's still a starter set. You still get, like, rules. You still get tokens. Whatever else you need. You know, you still get... How many miniatures is this? 1, 6... 11, so you still get like 15 miniatures, which is about the same as what you're going to get for maybe slightly less. But I guess the point is the price is less than half, right? So, like, maybe at some point these starter boxes should be more aimed at one person as opposed to trying to sell 2 armies, right? I don't know, I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there. But I appreciated it with the start, because I quite like StarCraft. I like the video game. I've played it since the early 90s, I guess. Like, I have the first one. StarCraft. I guess it was just called StarCraft at that time. It was StarCraft 1, obviously. But when I was looking at that, that seems like a much easier jumping in point, right? Like, I don't know if I'm going to like the StarCraft game. But I'm willing to jump in for... I think I paid less than that. I think I paid 80 to get that Protoss starter box. I think I did it in like one of the early access pre-order Kickstarter nonsense things, right? But I guess my point is that it was a much easier jumping in point. If you don't know you're going to like it, right? Like, if you're not sure, $185 is a big jump in. If you're not, like, I'd like to play Warhammer, but it's $185, and I don't know if I like it for $185, I guess. But yeah, so maybe it didn't sell out this time. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it means that future starter boxes will be cheaper, or who knows? Who knows, right? Do you think this edition will get a Death Company Dreadnought kit? I think Blood Angels will get one new model. Maybe we're lucky and get a refresh and we get a couple of new models. But if we go on the previous edition, it's been like, or the typical cadence has been like one new model for each Space Marine chapter. Whether or not that model is something that we really want, or if it's just like a generic captain, who knows? I guess that is the $1,000,000 question that everybody wants to answer, right? Like, if you knew what model is going to come, then you could save your money and you could buy at the right time or whatnot. I don't know. I was disappointed with the current Death Company Dreadnought, I'll tell you that, because it literally is just a Ballistus Dreadnought. There's nothing Death Company about it. So we went from having a super cool, unique Dreadnought that could actually be made into like 3 different variants into basically a reskinned Brutalis Dreadnought. And I already didn't really care for the Brutalis Dreadnought, because I've never, like, I've been playing the game the whole of the edition. I never really saw anyone do really well with the Brutalis Dreadnought. Maybe somebody did somewhere. Maybe there was an odd tournament that like somebody won with the Brutalis Dreadnought. But for the most part, Brutalis Dreadnoughts haven't seemed to really take off, right? As a strong competitive option. We just haven't seen it. You know, going to the cinema probably costs like $50 at least these days. Entry and some snacks, and that's for 2 hours. This box will keep me busy for a month or so. Yeah, that's true. I generally must admit that we've stopped going to the cinema. You know, like you said, it's $50. The Blu-ray's $10. My kids will watch the Blu-ray 3 times. But you're right. Generally speaking, maybe it's not that expensive, but it is expensive for someone that's not sure that they're going to start the hobby, or you know. I feel like it's a I don't know. I feel like it's a big jump for someone that's not sure that they're on the fence. I feel like if the role, like, you know what I was just saying about the StarCraft, I think if the role was reversed, and it was like, the StarCraft game was going to be $185 for me to just try it, I don't think I would have bought it. I'd have been like, that's too much money for a game I don't know if I'm going to like or if I'm ever going to play. So I guess make of that what you will, right? I vote for Heirloom Hero Bodyguard. It would be nice to get some new... It would be nice to get something new. I feel pretty disappointed with the Death Company in 10th edition, honestly. I tried to make the Brutalis work. I even took it to a tournament, dude. I put it inside a Storm Raven gunship, and I still didn't think it was that good. So basically, I had a Brutalis getting dropped off in the center of the map. Sort of turn 2 or 3. So the Brutalis didn't even have to run across the map. I was just dropping it off halfway across the map with my Storm Raven, and even then I didn't think it was that good. So based on that, I guess that kind of answer, like that kind of makes me feel like the Brutalis just isn't that great. If you, its weakness is it needs to get across the map. If you're taking another unit that's removing its weakness and it's still kind of average, then at best it's kind of average, right? Stocks must go up. I mean, that's just the general world we live in now. Stocks must go up for everything. I saw Amazon stock was down like 20%. People were saying it's because they cancelled the new Stargate show. I don't know if it's related, but I'm really upset that they cancelled the new Stargate show. I was really looking forward. Stargate might be one of the few IPs that I feel like I still like that hasn't been bastardized by Hollywood. Because I used to really like Star Trek, and now Star Trek is a joke to a certain extent, I guess. If you still like Star Trek, more power to you. I preferred the old stuff. Star Wars as well. I haven't gone and seen Mandalorian. I don't think I care. Maybe I'll watch it when it's free on Disney. But I used to really care about Star Wars. There used to be a time in my life that if they announced a Star Wars movie, I'd be like, right, we're going, you know? I don't even know what's in the movie, we're going. And now it's like, I just don't care. So Star Trek is falling off a cliff. Star Wars is falling off a cliff. So the only thing I've got left is Stargate, and now they've cancelled that. Before they even made a single episode. They announced it. The video that they made announcing it got 1 million views, and then they cancelled it already. I'm like, what the hell is going on? If stocks were dropping, yeah, I mean, Games Workshop stock is not going to drop. Did you see the new trailer, by the way? Like the trailer with the Emperor in it. I thought it was fucking awesome. This is one of the best trailers that they've done, I think. Like it was proper grimdark. Like, what was the last line in the trailer? Something like, it basically was, I think the last line in the trailer was basically to say like you know, your existence is futile in the 41st millennium. Like everybody just gets killed. This is a horrible place to live. It's grimdark as hell. Imagine the dude is waking up. I don't think the Emperor is waking up. I think they just wanted to well, we haven't seen anything from the Emperor for a long time, and I honestly thought before you will not be missed. Yeah, you will not be missed. I honestly thought before, I think I've even said it on stream, I thought that they might retcon the, you know, 1,000 people need to be sacrificed every day so the Emperor can keep the Astronomicon on, because I thought to myself, like, it's kind of horrific, right? Like, we just have to sacrifice, I guess, 1,000, somewhat, maybe they're not all innocent, but somewhat innocent people need sacrificed every single day to keep the corpse Emperor. What did they call him as well? The Carrion Lord? Like he's an undead, basically, sitting on the throne. I think that's, Carrion means undead, right? So I thought they were going to retcon that, and I thought, like, oh, maybe we've moved away from, like, the horrific... Like, you got to remember, that was written in the 80s as well. And the 80s is a completely different time to where we are now. It is maybe not just in society, but in Games Workshop as well. So I thought that they might retcon that out. Like, you know, we don't need to sacrifice 1,000 people every day to keep the Emperor alive. That was just a rumor or something. But no, they just went straight in. You know, we need to sacrifice all these people every day. The universe is grim and dark, and it doesn't matter who you are, be it like a Space Marine, an Eldar. Who else was in the trailer? Because everybody was in there just about. The Admech, the Necrons. You know, it was just everybody's in there. Everybody in the trailer was just getting killed. Like, didn't matter which faction they showed. They were just maybe the Eldar. There was like one Eldar guy walking along a bridge. He's fine. Everybody else was just getting murdered horrifically. And then you know, you saw the Chaos Gods in the warp thing at the end. I thought that new trailer was badass. I loved it. And I think it's probably the most grimdark we've seen in a while, right? Because like the previous trailers were like, you remember the Ultramarine trailer was a bit more hopeful. I mean, the trailer that had Gilliman in it was maybe a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? The word means like imposing, like doom, or it's like, oh, it's not omniscient, it's like ominous. Yeah, you know, like the trailer with Gilliman was a little bit ominous. Whereas I disappointed with the new Sangre Guard. Yeah, I don't like them, man. I bought the Combat Patrol. I only made one of them. I just rebased all my Firstborn Sangre Guard and pretty much using those exclusively. I don't like the new helmets. I don't like the fact they don't have wings. So, but I mean, if you like them, more power to you. I feel like the great thing about our Warhammer hobby is everybody can do their own thing, right? My models shouldn't really affect you. Your models shouldn't really affect me. If, you know, you could have a conversion that you think is super sick and I might think is average, but I mean, you just respect each other's work and move on, I guess, right? So the new Sangre Guard were not my favorite. But then all these generic Primaris releases where we've lost a lot of the Blood Angels flavor, none of these releases have really been my favorite. So I bought the new box today. I'm a sucker, but I will customize the new box as much as humanly possible. Right? Like I will, I'll buy third-party heads, I'll buy third-party storm shields, whatever needs to be done. I'll go and look on old sprues for power axes or whatever, you know, like if these Vanguard veterans have Mastercrafter power weapons, I think that's the rules for the new Vanguard veterans. Power weapons aren't exclusively swords, right? Power weapons used to be axes, power weapons used to be mauls. So I'll customize mine and make them somewhat different. So I think where we are right now with the hobby is if you want to be unique and have cool shit, you have to do a bit of work yourself. That's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it'll force people to have a bit of expression, it forces people to do something different. But yeah, I mean, if you don't like any of the new sets, then I really advise that you shop around on eBay and stuff and customize them to make them to a set that you do like, right? Like, you don't have to be stuck with the helmets that they ship with, or you don't have to be stuck with the weapons that they ship with, or anything like that, right? They weren't my favorite either. Good evening, Antonius. Did you get the new box? Did you go for it? Yeah, let's do a poll then. How many people we got in chat tonight? 41. Cool. Alright, nice to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's start a poll. Did we order the new box? Let's see. Did we order the new box? And let's split up. Yes. No, because I didn't need the models. No, because it's too expensive. And then maybe like, no, because I hate FOMO. Alright, let's see what people are saying. 4 billion people over 10,000 years. I believe they're supposed to be Psychers too. Yeah, they did say that. I believe it is Psychers. You are correct. I believe it has to be people that have psychic energy that get sacrificed to the golden throne. And I liked the depiction of the golden throne. I thought it looked cool. But I think, yeah, I think that might be the best trailer they've made in a while. Like, you know, we got the Armageddon trailer just a few weeks ago, and I mean, it was fine, but I think this new trailer is like just sets the scene way better. it adds like a degree of gravitas to the setting that maybe we lost a little bit of. And yeah, I really liked everything about it. I'm going to say that new trailer was like a 10 out of 10 for me. It harkened back to the old things, you know, like I said, like the you will not be missed, everybody's expendable. If you haven't watched that new trailer, I'd say, like, you know, it's so good you want to just log off this stream and go watch it right now. Like, that's how good it is. And I don't say that lightly, because I'm usually somewhat critical of things, right? Like, I give my opinion and I try and be truthful. And probably that ends up getting me in trouble. I mean, that's probably why I don't get a Games Workshop. That's probably why I don't get any of the new models in the new books, because I just tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat things. So if I don't like something, I will just flat tell you I don't like it. Because I saw, like, I saw this week that there was like a channel with like 9,000. God, I hate edge highlighting sometimes. I saw that there was a channel with less than 10,000 subscribers that has been given, like, you know, the new box early or whatever. And here's me with, like, coming up on 25,000. And I mean, I did ask, like, is there any chance that I could, like, you know, the new box is all about Blood Angels. If anyone's got a line to the Blood Angels community, I would have thought it would have been me. Being that, as far as I'm aware, this is the biggest Blood Angels channel on YouTube. But yeah, I did ask. How did Blood Angels Commander not get the box? Well, like I said, I'm probably too critical about things, right? And I also, like, call out all the imbalances in the tabletop game, like, really because the imbalances really bother me. The chaplain without wings really convinced me to pass. Yeah, so what's happening with that Blood Angels chaplain? You know, the really cool one that has the wings? Is he finished now? I haven't actually been on the website today. Is he still there? Is he getting removed, do you think? Be a sad day when he goes, because his jump pack is one of the coolest jump packs we've ever had access to. The Blood Angels revolt. Don't revolt, man. It's fine. In some ways, I quite like the fact that I don't have any NDA in that, and I can just say whatever the hell I want. I don't want to be I don't want anything controlling what I say. I don't want to be like sitting on a stream where I have to watch what I say, I guess, probably. So it's probably fine. It's probably for the best. But, like, hey, at least you know what you get with me. You get honest, no BS, right? God, I've never really realised how much detail there is in one of the insides of these impulsors. What a pain in the arse to paint. The BA chaplain is going to... I liked your comment, actually, Antonius. It was the best comment I think we got this week, which was like... I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly, but your comment was something like, "Brother, you have passed the Primaris Rubicon. Please report to the armory to surrender your Infernal Pistol and to pick up an Absorber Bolt Pistol." I need to put that on a title for a video. The irony of it. Oh, the irony. Ugh. Who wants a fucking Absorber Bolt Pistol? I tell you, nobody is the answer. A useless weapon. The Wing Chaplain is still up on the website. Well, I guess if you want him, now is the time, right? Because he is a firstborn jump chaplain, and you can bet your ass there's going to be no rules for the firstborn jump chaplain after this new book launches or whatever. But I have one of those firstborn jump chaplains, and I'm going to use his wings on the new Primaris one, I think, to give mine more character. And I think that's what I was saying about the guy that was asking, like, what I thought about new Sangre Guard. I'm like, give your old characters as much, or sorry, give your old models as much character as you have in almost like, that's just what we have to do now. I know there's been a few people that have said as well that they're hopeful that like the easy to build version of, or sorry, the non-easy to build version will have like more weapon options. I'm not convinced. So apparently 20% of people are saying the new box is too expensive. So for the folk that said that they don't think a price is an option, I guess to some people the price is an issue. 20% is not nothing, right? If 20% of people think it's too expensive, it's probably too expensive. The multi-part kit will have an extra plasma pistol. Dude, I feel like, Antonius, you win the award for being the most sarcastic, but I also think you're kind of right, and ironically, I don't want you to be right, because it's depressing. $300 then I have to go through to effort to offload the orcs for a decent price too. Yeah, I mean, or try and find an orc player you can trade with. That's what I did. I messaged my orc buddy today and was like, are we still on for swapping the orcs? He's like, yes. I was like, okay, cool. So at least I can get double the Space Marines. But yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say about the StarCraft box. Like, maybe the idea that StarCraft have, and I have not even read the rules for the StarCraft game or anything. I just picked up the Protoss box because I really like StarCraft, and I already have one Protoss model, so I decided to get the Protoss box. And I really do quite like the video game StarCraft. Protoss were always my jam, my life for ire and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think having the new Vanguard vets are going to be good with Dante. They might be. I don't think they're going to be a horrible unit. I wonder if Dante's going to keep his Battle Shock, because what's funny is Dante's Battle Shock rule suddenly with the new edition is going to be a lot better. Because I've complained about Dante's rule being kind of crap this whole edition. So if he keeps his Battle Shock, it's going to be a lot better. But I bet you they're going to finally change him away from that Battle Shock rule now that it's going to be better. That would be like the ironic... That will be the ironic, horrible thing that happens. Convince your wife to pick up Warhammer and get her to do orcs? I mean, I guess you could try. Mephiston's Battle Shock changed too? Well, Mephiston's change to his mortal wounds is going to be better as well. If Blood Angels are on your box, I would design it so fluffy stuff can be added as a customer service thing. Yeah, I mean, I think we've been saying that, man. Like, we've been saying that the upgrade sprues for Blood Angels are not good. I mean, maybe that's why Games Workshop don't talk to me, because I have said that the upgrade sprues are not good multiple times. I have said that, like, our upgrade sprue doesn't make sense. I mean, I think the thing that is annoying is, like, Games Workshop could ask me, right? Like, what would you like on your upgrade sprue? What would be good on the upgrade sprue? But it's not just me, right? You could pretty much ask any Blood Angels player. Like, hey, what do you think would be good on the upgrade sprue? Well, I can tell you right now, a chainsword is not something that we need on an upgrade sprue. Because literally every fucking model ships with a chainsword. So whoever put that chainsword on the upgrade sprue has obviously never played Blood Angels. Because I don't remember once in my entire life going, oh, do you know what would be really good on an upgrade sprue? A chainsword. Like, come on. Everybody ships with a chainsword. Literally everybody. Ultramarines got better helmets. Ultramarines actually got quite a good release this edition, right? I feel somewhat happy for the Ultramarines players because they were feeling left out. They didn't get a codex. I mean, do they even get a codex in the new edition? I don't know, but they didn't get a codex, so they were needing some love. So yes, Victrix Guard are very good, but maybe Victrix Guard being so good will mean that, like, someone actually looks at the Sangre Guard rules and fixes those. So I'm not too upset that Ultramarines got something. See, just before I came on stream, my 4-year-old painted his first Warhammer model today. Check this out. He wanted to copy the box because he got an intercessor. No, sorry, what is this guy? An Infernus Marine. He got like a little box from Games Workshop that had one pre-built model inside it. Maybe I'll tidy up some of the bits he missed for him, or maybe I'll just keep it as his first ever Marine. But it was very cute. He tried really hard. That was your 4-year-old that's better than me? Oh, yeah, it was my 4-year-old. I helped him mix the paints. I put the model in the painting handle for him, and I set up a couple of lights, and he took his time. Yeah, you remember, like, Games Workshop used to just sell 5 jump packs. Like, you could buy 5 jump packs and it cost $5, and it was as simple as that. So if you had some assault intercessors on foot and you wanted them to be jump marines, you just bought 5 jump packs. It was $5. Ironically, if we'd known at the time, because those same 5 jump packs now go on eBay for like $60. Someone could have bought a house off the inflation on those jump packs. It's crazy. But yeah, I feel very sad that the fact that, like, there used to be. What's crazy to me as well is, like, we're in an era of 3D printing. So, like, if you wanted jump packs, you could just find someone to 3D print them for you, right? Like, that's totally doable. That's probably pretty easy. Most people probably have a friend that has a 3D printer, right? So it's not even like I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that it's crazy that they used to sell 5 jump packs for $5. And I mean, when I was getting new to the hobby, I probably bought that 4 or 5 times, right? So yes, it was probably saved me some money, but I imagine it, like, if they just started selling Primaris jump packs on a sprue, $5. I mean, this was $5 10 years ago, so they could probably go $8. They could maybe even go $10. I feel like people would buy that. Just buy the Crimson Roared stuff? Well, I mean, you can. But, I mean, I think there's a lot of people that would prefer to buy from the official sources, right? Like, there's a lot of people that would just prefer to go to gamesworkshop.com and just, you just know 100% what you're getting. Like, I'm getting the official models, etc, 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 right? So I just go to the official website and just buy the thing. Heroic Intervention no longer says you don't get the charge bonuses. So do you now get Fight First there, or is it mentioned somewhere else? Do you know, when they first announced Heroic Intervention Hypno, I thought that there was going to be a specific call out that you didn't get Fight First when you made a Heroic. Because they definitely made it, like on the Warhammer community article, they definitely made it sound like you wouldn't be getting your Fight First bonus if you made a Heroic Intervention. Maybe I need to reread that with the rulebook. Does anyone from chat have an opinion on that? If you make a Heroic Intervention, are you getting the Fight First bonus? I mean, I read through the entire rulebook the other night on stream, and I feel like I didn't see anything that said you would not be getting... Because I think the Fight First, the wording is like, if you made a charge move. Does Heroic count as a charge move? I'd need to dig into that. You think they changed the bonus stuff? Yeah, maybe. That's what they made it sound like in the Warhammer community article. They made it sound like you wouldn't be getting Fight First if you made a Heroic Intervention. I mean, you could make a Heroic Intervention on a unit that's got a Fight First enhancement and then trigger the enhancement to still get Fight First. So there's probably still ways to do it. It looks tacky? What looks tacky? My impulsor? Probably, I mean, harsh. Oh, the Crimson Lord bits look tacky? I think some of them are okay. I think you've got to pick and choose. But yeah, I would have really liked it if they'd still sold the jump packs. Because I really like just the simplicity of going to Warhammer.com and saying, like, I need 3 or 4 more jump packs. Like, that was really simple to me. And I would have liked them to have kept that. And yes, you can buy 3D printed stuff, but you never quite know the quality. Maybe you find a good reseller for 3D printed, but there was something very simple about just going to Warhammer.com and just saying, like how often do you put in an official order and just be like, just give me a few extra jump packs, it's fine, right? That's usually how I did it anyway. I think it's silly complaining about third-party bits. I mean, I think the point is that Games Workshop could they could get all of our business if they just did good options for the customization of the army. Maybe it's a directional change though, because like, years ago there would have been good customizations, but now with so many armies and stuff, it's like they probably don't have quite the same level of time to dedicate to one army, because they just, they gotta bounce around and they gotta give every army rules, and yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't know. I love my Crimson Lord Death Company bits. Yeah, I mean, if you find third-party bits that you like, knock yourself out, right? Like, I've used some of the Crimson Lord bits. I definitely used some of them on a Dreadnought. Thought they were okay. You definitely use some of them on Sangregar. GW left money on the table by not selling individual parts or cool blings for Blood Angels, so I think Grey Tide has done a great job. I mean, I think you're right, they have left money on the table. Which is a strange thing, because they are a big business that probably, realistically, they're a business that wants to make money, right? Like, we were talking earlier in the stream about how people were saying, like, shareholders need the prices to go up, right? Like, that's always going to be a thing. So the fact that they don't do upgrade sprues, and they don't do good upgrade sprues, and they don't really talk to I could be wrong here, but I feel like they don't talk to the model creators about what they want from upgrade sprues. Because most of the most of the big Warhammer channels on YouTube are doing painting, right? It's like big battle report channels are painting. Maybe there's some big kit bashing channels, but like, is there? Is kit bashing maybe just not a popular thing? I don't know anymore, man. I know painting is friggin' huge. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I'm not really willing to buy a whole box of Marines just to get... Like, I really like Reaver helmets. Like, if they sold Reaver helmets separately, I would buy Reaver helmets. Am I willing to buy 10 more Reavers just to get the helmets? No. No, of course I'm not. That's crazy. But, like, if you think about the plastic... Like, I don't know what a box of 10 Reavers costs. I'm going to guess off the top of my head it's like 45 bucks for 10 Reavers. So they would, if they sold the helmets, they would probably sell 10 Reaver helmets for like 20 bucks, 15-20 bucks, right? So if you think of how much plastic, like, think of the, like, have you seen the sprues for the Reavers? It's 10 guys, it's guns, it's arms, it's legs, it's knives. I think Reavers have 2 gun options, so every single guy has a second gun option. Every single guy has like an unhelmeted head option as well. You know, so it's like you've got how much plastic and rules and bump is actually in that. If you just sold 10 Reaver helmets for like 15 bucks, you'd be using a fraction of the plastic. You'd obviously barely take up any shipping space as well, because it's a very small box. But they just don't do it. And it's just, I would buy that stuff. I mean, it reminds me of the days when we used to go and have to buy like individual Thunderhammers or individual sets of Lightning Claws for Vanguard veterans on eBay, right? There is a market for all that stuff, but I guess the market's not big enough to make it worth their while. I just don't think I just don't think they communicate that well enough, or maybe, like I said, maybe us Blood Angels players that like to do kit bashing are a minority, or like to have custom guys are a minority. Grappling hooks, oh yeah, I forgot they even had grappling hooks, man. I bought a pair of Reavers, like right at the start. Which edition did they come out? I think it was 8th edition. I bought a set of them thinking like, oh yeah, these are going to be the next big melee unit, right? The first melee Primaris unit, these Reavers with their cool death masks. These guys are going to be dope. I bought them, I built 5 of them, and they've pretty much sat in the drawer and been proxied as Death Company for like the last decade. The second 5 have been sat painted black with no intention of going back to finish them, just because, like, why would you finish a squad that you never ever field, right? That's pretty much how my painting works. If I never ever field the unit, I never ever paint it. Matthew, yeah, I got my 11th edition box. I hope you got one as well. Good. I actually sent you a video on Facebook, Matthew. But yeah, so it's good. So hopefully that means that I'll actually get the launch box on launch day. So maybe I'll be able to do battle reports, if not launch day, the day after. And I've been setting up that new AI camera. So hopefully it means the battle reports will have better camera. Better camera, better zoom in on the... I actually checked the zoom on the new camera. The zoom is crazy. Like, it's way better than the zooms we've got in the current camera. So, like, there's a chance that my battle reports will be a lot higher quality. That's what I'm aiming for. I suppose it may not quite play out that way, but that is what I'm aiming for. Evening, J-Man, you're the best. Thanks for the awesome content. Ben, thank you for the awesome comment. That's nice of you. I had some guy going wild on me like last week. Basically in the complete opposite tone of that comment. So yeah, for everybody that likes the channel, there's someone out there that fucking hates it. I was thinking to myself, I was like, dude, I have YouTube channels that I don't like, I just don't watch them. Just move on. Like, why watch a channel where you hate the host? Like, just move on. I don't really know what I'm doing with this shield dome. I can't remember the last shield domes that I painted. So I'm just gonna put some blue through the middle, and then I'm probably gonna hit it with like a Guilliman glaze and try and make it look like it's glowing a little bit. Send him to the warp. I'll send him to the Golden Throne to be one of the 1,000 people sacrificed every day. How cool was that new trailer though, eh? So yeah, we're getting, what feels like is we're getting back to the darkness of the Grim Dark. I like that. But yeah, I hope we get some sort of new release in 11th for Blood Angels. I imagine it's going to come with our codex, right? That's kind of how they do this now. You get a codex, and in the codex you get a new unit. I might go with a brighter blue in that, actually. Oh well, I'll lay down a base coat anyway. And where does this one go? There. Okay. Put some oil washing is all you need. I really hope Seth can come back. I kind of hope Corbolo will come back. And I think if Corbolo comes back, I think he should come back with a jump pack. Because every other, like, named HQ that we've got now has a jump pack, right? I mean, maybe Seth should just come back with a fucking jump pack. Why would you do that and pay 20% more? The stores that offer discounts are official resellers. Sorry, I missed the question. Why would you pay 20% more? I mean, the only reason to really pay 20% more is to almost guarantee that you get the box on launch date, right? I live in Scotland, and shipping to Scotland is notoriously slow and bad. So I didn't do it this time, but in the past I have ordered stuff off Games Workshop's website rather than a reseller, just because the chance of me getting it on launch day are infinitely higher from Games Workshop. Calgar with a jump pack next? Yes, Marneus Calgar in jump pack. Sorry, that's going to be the next release. You heard it here first. Gravis Calgar in jump pack, yeah. Man, At this point, we're going to have Calgar in every single possible armor set, aren't we? Before we get any more models. I ordered off GW to get a free mini. What mini were they given? I missed that. To be fair, I was just desperate to get it pre-ordered, so I just went with the first place that logged me in and didn't have a horrible queue. Ah, the Warhammer Plus free mini, I'm with you. But yeah, I always try Element games first. They seem to be really reliable and good for me, so... plus they seem to somewhat often actually manage to ship to Scotland in time, which I think is a challenge based on... I was going to say based on historical data. Because most of the time when I try and get Scotland shipping, it's always damn delayed. You also get a cool coin from Games Workshop. Oh yeah, they always do like the coins, and sometimes they do like tote bags and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, it's not the worst thing to order it from Games Workshop, right? Like, I guess it's a little bit more expensive, but it's not the worst thing. 40 bucks for a free mini. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, here's the thing. A single character these days costs like the best part of 25 bucks. Right, so if you get a free coin in a mini, then it probably averages out. You're probably just... Essentially, you're just actually really paying for the coin in the mini, right? But if those are valuable to you, then... You know, they're valuable. But yeah, I was glad that it hadn't sold. Like, when I went, first thing I did was I logged into Games Workshop's website, and it was like, you're in a 15-minute queue, and I was like, all right, let's leave that queue in the background and let's go to some resellers. And the very first one I went to, which is the one that I'm an affiliate with Element, was like, they still had stock and their website wasn't crashing. So I was like, well, I'm just going to order here. And had some tokens on Element, so it meant that like I could get free shipping essentially. And then it turned out it was 37 bucks cheaper as well. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just get it here, pay a little bit extra for shipping. The tokens will like average each other out, and then I'm golden. So that means I should get it on the release day. And yeah, I saved like 40 bucks, so I was happy. And then at that point I was on Discord and I was like, oh, I never even checked if anything else was out for pre-order today because I was so fixated on getting the box. So then I just waited out my 15-minute queue on the Games Workshop website and then went on there just to check like I didn't miss anything. But no, it was only the Armageddon box that was up for sale today, nothing else from what I could... At least when I got on 15 minutes later and clicked on pre-orders for Warhammer, it didn't look like there was anything else. I think later in the day someone said that new book had launched, but maybe I missed the book. Did anyone order that new book that had the Blood Angels and the Sister of Battle? I guess that's what I get for not being prepared if I missed the book. Probably Marius. Marius always gets the books. He'll probably tell me you're an idiot. It took me 7 months to get around to painting in my new house. You mean painting Warhammer took you 7 months? Like, if you've moved, like when I moved into this house, that's why I don't want to move house again. I put up shelves behind me, got all my lights set up. It took me ages, man. I spent this week building 30 heavy intercessors and eradicator. That was finally to hobby. 30, man. What are we doing with 30 heavy eradicator? You're gonna flood the board with heavy intercessors. There might not be that many points, actually. Flood the board with 30 heavy intercessors. I suppose there's worse things to do in 40k. Amar says, hello everyone, I have to share this with someone. I lucked out and managed to snag 2 Armageddon boxes. I am psyched. Oh, congrats, man. How come you got 2? Yeah, what's the I was going to say, what's the plan behind 2? 1 wasn't enough? Yeah, I call this room my office. My kids now call it the office as well. I mean, I do work in here, but it's like the one room in the house that's off limit. When we moved in, I picked the smallest room as well, which I'm regretting. I wish I'd picked one of the big, like, it was the right thing to do to give the kids the bigger bedrooms, but man, I got a lot of shit in here. I've been selling a lot of shit, actually. I didn't realize this until like this week, that or it was last week, people are buying old codexes like they're going out of fashion. I just sold the 9th, like today, I sold the 9th edition Black Templar Codex for like $11. I'm like, alright, I mean, I'm never, no, not 11th edition, sorry, 9th edition Black Templar Codex, so 2 editions ago. I was like, I've never played 9th edition again. It's literally just taking up space on my shelf. So I'm just listing all my old codexes now. I'm going to keep the Blood Angels ones. But like Codex Space Marine, Codex Knights, Codex Black Templar, Codex Thousand Suns, any of those old codexes for old editions. I'm just listing all of them. I sold the Eldar one as well, and I sold the Eldar Army. I've got some Age of Sigmar models. I'm just selling it all. I'm trying to make space and trying not to fill this room up with shit, basically. 2 land speeders, a full squad of eradicators, and I got a tournament in September. Evening, Krychik. You can put one of those books in the toilet? On the toilet? What do you mean, on the toilet? You mean to read while you're sat on the toilet? I used to have a stack of magazines next to the toilet, but I guess now with smartphones, everyone just takes their smartphone into the bathroom. That's like one of the most disgusting things ever, using your smartphone when you're on the bathroom. But people do it. I keep having to tell my kids, my daughter keeps taking her tablet into the toilet to sit on the toilet with her tablet. I'm like, if I see that tablet in the toilet again, I'm putting it in the bin, honestly. They're like, sorry, Dad. I was like, you'll do it again tomorrow. I was like, it's the dirtiest place in the house. Do not take the tablet into the toilet. I'm like a fucking broken record, man. I think the new rulebook will be a good toilet book. Man, I miss the days when it was, when I didn't have a family, the books that you had in the toilet were all the dirty magazines with all the naked women. Just a stack of them just sit next to the toilet, so you just look at that while you're doing the toilet. Happy days, huh? Families really put a damper on some things. Excuse me. Right, I'm gonna, while I remember, I'm gonna put a little coat of Lamium Medium over the transfers I did the other night on this Dreadnought, so that I can basically get this Dreadnought ready to be sprayed. The things you do for the kids, I know, right? Put the Death Guard Codex in the toilet? Yeah, I mean, that's a dirty place for the Death Guard Codex. I like it. Good point, well made. But yeah, I figure if I finish this Dreadnought and then I finish this Impulsor, I feel like these two models will get some play in my in some of my first 11th edition lists. I'd be very surprised if they don't get some play, honestly. Because I do quite like Ballistus Dreadnoughts. I think Blade Guard are going to be a big thing in the new edition. What with the changes to cover, I really think Blade Guard are going to be an important change. Yeah, I usually always put a coat of Lamy and Medium over the top of the transfers, because then if I'm not happy with the transfer, I can paint over the top of it, right? So I mean, I water the Lamy and Medium down, but I think a good example of this is like I put a Death Company transfer onto this knee here. It's like super old, and I don't know if you can see. Probably can see. I'm going to need to paint over the top of that transfer. It's so faded. It's a really old one. So I'm gonna, not right now, obviously, because I'm gonna let this Lamy Medium dry. But I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna grab some red paint and I'm gonna repaint those blood drops. Basically, it's tracing, right? Like if you're not good at freehand, that's one way to do it. Is just paint over the edges of the transfer. It'll get you better at freehand as well by practicing. I think I put 5 transfers on this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Cool. So I think my plan is to paint over these blood drops and just give them a bit more definition, because I think they're too hard to see because they're just too faded. It was a super old transfer, and I don't think you get those 3 blood drops anymore on modern transfer sheets. Maybe you do. I'm not sold on the Blade Guard for vanilla Space Marines with the new Fight First rules. I think it's just more for them being shot, man. Because I think you're gonna, like, shooting is gonna be so powerful in this new edition. So I think you put the Blade Guard in the cover, like you put them fully within the ruins with the Sangari Priest, so they have the 4-up Invuln and the 5-up Feel No Pain, and then you just say, shoot me, basically. So the Blade Guard control objectives for you. They're hard to shift, because if you're -1 to hit them, and then they've got 4-up and a 5-up Invuln, they'd be somewhat harder. I think they'll just be durable. I think they'll be hard to kill. So I think you can, I mean that, I was doing 6 more Blade Guard, and obviously doing this Impulsor. So I'm thinking the Impulsor, I think after the Impulsor I'll get onto the 12 Blade Guard. I knew I had this Impulsor and he's pretty far along, so I figured it'd be nice to get a couple of vehicles finished right now, I guess, or right before the edition, and then I guess the first thing I'm painting in the new edition is finishing off those Blade Guard. But yeah, I think I mean, like, I've got that'll give me 12 Blade Guard, but I suppose I'll see how I feel about 12. But I have a funny feeling Blade Guard are going to be really useful, because I do think there's going to be a lot of armies that are just going to be shooting us with an obnoxious amount of stuff. I think one of the best things we'll have that's durable against lots and lots of shooting is going to be Blade Guard. And the added bonus is Blade Guard fit inside an Impulsor as well, so it's like they've got to kill the Impulsor and then they've got to kill the Blade Guard, which I mean, Blade Guard were already useful, but with -1 to hit, they could be really useful, I guess. We'll see. You could go with my idea, 40 Terminators. Well, let me know how that goes on, man. I don't even think I have 40 painted Terminators, honestly. I mean, maybe I've got like 25, 30, maybe, at a push. What pistol do you run on the Blade Guard, Sergeant? I don't think it matters, dude. It's a one-shot pistol. I've run them with a while with the Volkite pistol. I think the Volkite pistol is crap. The amount of times I've shot it and done no damage with it, like it's one shot, 0 AP. Like what? So you're probably better running them with the plasma pistol. I've just got mine modelled with the Volkite pistol. It is one shot, I'm sure, the Volkite pistol. Maybe last edition it was 2 shots. I don't remember, but I know the current version is crap. Like, I never do anything with that Volkite pistol. So yeah, I don't rate the Volkite pistol at all. I think it's rubbish. I mean, it seems to be a running... what if you hit an absorber bolt pistol? What is it? Like, Blood Angels were supposed to be a faction that, like, jumps in and does melee damage and should be backed up with some decent pistols. But for the like, we used to, our Infernal pistol, like, used to be able to take 10 Sangre Guard, 10 Infernal pistols, 10 Death Company, 10 Infernal pistols. Now it's just like our pistols are just dog shit. It's sad times, man. If the plasma pistol is 1d3 like the Vanguard Veterans, it will be more viable. Yeah, so potentially all plasma pistols are going to be d3 shots for low power. That seems really strange, because then it's like, why would you ever risk high power? Would you not just always d3 it and hope for a little bit of luck? Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, I guess strength 8 sometimes could be a break point. I feel like if low power plasma pistols is D3, I'm just going to D3 it every single time and forget it's got a high power mode. You think the AP makes a difference? Well, the AP might have made difference in previous editions, but with the fact that people don't get cover against the AP now, I think AP is somewhat less important. Or, you know, lower AP is essentially better than it was in previous editions. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Maybe there's still some situations where I'd really want to shoot on high power. Maybe you're right. I think it makes low power a lot better, though, I suppose. So that's something. It's been a long time since you could have said, like I said, in general, I think most of our pistols are a bit shit. So maybe if, like, you know, if the assault intercessors can carry they already carry a couple of plasmas, don't they, per 5? Is it two plasmas per 5, 3 plasmas per 10, or is it 4 plasmas per 10? I typically don't play assault intercessors in 10s, I must admit. But I think it's 2 plasmas and 5. So a little bit buff is nice, I guess. But yeah, I think shooting armies are going to be I think shooting armies are going to be better than people are giving them credit for. Like, I think Tau will... If Tau can get ignore cover from somewhere, I think it's going to be horrific. Like, we'll barely get saves against Tau. Does the box come with enough plasmas? You mean the new box? I don't think they've shown the sprues off, have they? Or did they do a stream where they showed off all the individual sprues? It's 2. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 for 5. I just don't know how many plasmas do you get in a 10-man jump intercessor? It's not 2 on the 10-man as well, is it? There's only 1 plasma on the Vanguard Veterans. Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? Surely they're upping that in the individual release. You can't have jump pack intercessors having more plasmas than veterans. That goes back to that silly comment you made earlier, Antonius, where it's like, brother, you've been upgraded, please report, please hand in your good pistol, you know? Makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, my next tournament is the end of next month. I've got a GT, I think it's like the 20th of next month, something like that. I'm quite looking forward to it. I hope I can find a strong list. You know, like, I guess that gives me like a month to figure out what might be good for the new edition. Hopefully it means I can get 2 or 3 practice games as well, because I always feel like I do better at tournaments if I've had at least 2 or 3 practice games. Nachuta, good evening. I hope Vanguard Veterans keep some of the weapon options. I think everybody hopes that they're going to keep some of the weapon options, but we're hopeful that they're going to keep them, but we're not optimistic that they actually will, I guess. Yeah, I think, at least from my read-through of the rules, Nachuta, edge highlighting I feel like all I've been doing these last few streams is edge highlighting, and frustrating. I feel like at least my read-through of the rules gave me the feeling that the new rules are better, or they're better thought out, maybe. Whether or not they're fully balanced yet, I guess we'll have to see, right? I know people are saying that they think this is going to be a melee edition. I think shooting is going to be very, very strong this edition. They need shields at least. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get their shields back. Maybe I could be wrong. I think if they were going to be allowed shields, they would have had some in the easy build version. Because a bunch of them are dual wielding that power weapon in 2 hands, right? Or at least a few models are wielding the power weapon in 2 hands, so I think that typically if you're wielding a weapon in 2 hands, you're not getting a shield as well. I'm not going to glue the arms on the Vanguard Veterans and hope. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for hope for you, man, but I'm not confident, I guess. Maybe we're turning into Red Ultramarines. You sound like Gabriel Seth, Miguel. You better not say that too loudly, like Seth got obliterated. Where is he? He got retconned the fuck out of the setting. He opened his mouth, spoke too early. I'm joking, but yeah. Where is Seth? Reminds me of that bit in Lord of the Rings where he's like, is it secret? Is it safe? Like, where is Gabriel Seth? Is he alive? Is he safe? He got silenced, yeah, exactly. Maybe he got sacrificed to the Emperor to keep the damn Astronomicon on, right? We never thought of that. It's like, we've got a guy over here questioning the Primaris lore. Get him sacrificed to the Astronomicon. Yeah, I mean, Vanguard Veterans are in a weird position, right? Where they're like, if they do get to keep their shields, like someone just said in chat, then they're possibly edging to a point where, like, they're better than Death Company. And, like, they're not going to want them to necessarily be better than Death Company, I feel like. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. And what's weird about it is, like, the Vanguard Vets are going to be another unit that just do 2 damage, right? Like, we have loads of units that just do 2 damage. We've got nothing that will do 3 damage. I mean, you could argue Assault Centurions will do 3 damage, but come on, they move 4 inches. I suppose you could argue, like, a Redemptor Dreadnought or a Death Company Dreadnought can do 3 damage, but again, Death Company Dreadnought's got, like, no attacks. It's got, like, what, 6 attacks? I was at a tournament, and I had, like, the Brutalis Dreadnought smash into a unit of Deathwing Knights. He didn't even kill a single one. I think he took, like, 1 wound off 1 Deathwing Knight. It was the most anticlimactical shit ever. So, like, we just have nothing that deals 3 damage, yet we've been given another unit that can do 2 damage. It's like, cool. Alright, so how do we get a unit that does 3 damage? Librarians are going to be gods in this edition? You just think because of the 4-up invuln save you can apply to any unit? I mean, a 4-up invuln is going to help a lot. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of shooting at people in into cover, right? The Death Company Dread needs more AP on its strike. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. 2 AP on that unit is stupid. It's funny that, though, because remember they said, like, oh, this new edition is going to be less lethal, and they took some units, like the Death Company Dreadnought, like the Death Company Dreadnought, or he used to have more AP than 2. Pretty sure he used to have 3. I'm pretty sure the Redemptor Dreadnought used to have 3 as well, and they took a few units, and they took the AP down on a few units. And then once they'd finished taking the AP down on the Marine units, it feels like all the other codexes they made, they forgot to hand out that memo. So it was just like, oh right, well we've taken the Space Marine AP down a bit, but you know, Tower's still going to shoot you at AP 4, 5 and 6, and Death Guard are still going to shoot you at AP 4 all the time, and Votan are going to shoot you at AP 4 all the time. I mean, dare I say, Eldar had indirect fire that was, I think, AP4 as well for a while there, right? AP4 indirect. I'm like, come on, man. Space Marines lost their AP on Chain Fist used to be AP4, they became AP2. Power Fist used to be AP3, they became AP2. So yeah, Space Marines lost a bunch of AP, but nobody else got that memo that the game was supposed to be less lethal. Feels like double standards, I swear. Mephiston got shafted for damage. I think they changed their mind early on. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Mephiston did have AP 3 at least, though, right? Like, he had... Maybe it was just a sword. But yeah, it feels like they changed their mind. They said it was going to be less lethal, and only a few armies got hit with that less lethality nonsense. A lot of people got off scot-free, I guess. Space Marines were meant to be less lethal. Well, we certainly were. We certainly were, my friend. So I was thinking, like, Sunday night on the channel, we usually do this stream where we look over people's army lists, right? That's what we do on a Sunday night. But I think at this point there's no point looking over 10th edition army lists. Like, I mean, maybe someone still needs a review for 10th edition. I guess, tough shit. Because I feel like there's very little traction left in talking about 10th edition. So I think what's happening tomorrow for the army, for the stream that I do on a Sunday night, we're just going to do a stream where we talk about rules for 11th edition. So if you've got questions, like there was a question tonight about heroic intervention, and charging and fight first and all this, I think what we should do tomorrow night is I'll still go live around the same time, 8:30ish. We'll still be live for like an hour. But what we'll do is we'll just do like, I don't know what to title the stream yet. Blood Angels 11th edition rule discussion. I don't know, something like that. And we'll just talk about any things that people have questions from. We'll read over the rules from, like, I guess the core rulebook that Games Workshop shared, and see if we can't clear up any issues or clear up any questions. It might not be the best stream ever, but it might be useful to some people, I guess. So that's what I think I'm going to do tomorrow night. Damien says, I've never played 40k, but the idea of being fast and jumping into melee sounds like the most fun army. Are Blood Angels fun because of their speed? Yeah, you're pretty much right on that, Damien, in that Blood Angels' biggest strength in the entire game is the speed. Like, I wouldn't say we're the most damaging army. I wouldn't say we're the most durable army. But I would say, in terms of dictating how the game is played and dictating where the engagements happen, we have one of the best armies for that, right? Like, our units are fast enough, so if you're like, I don't want to fight this thing in this situation, you get to usually dictate where the fights happen. And that's probably why, like, typically Blood Angels do well in very many tournaments, because good players that can utilize the movement will win tournaments, because they just dictate where the engagements happen. I'd also say, though, there's a learning curve in that, because when I came back to the hobby, I'd been out of the hobby for about 10 years. When I came back, I lost a lot of games at the start because we aren't super durable and we aren't super killy, right? We're decent at killing, but our durability is not that great. So, yeah, that's kind of, once I'd got over the hump of, like, losing a lot of games and finally starting to win games, I would say, not repeatedly, but, like, win games at a reasonable level consistently. That's when I started this channel, because I was like, there's got to be other people out there that are having the same issues I was having, where, like, we're an army with a bit of a learning curve, right? Like, you have to practice, and you have to, like, I play Death Guard a lot. If you go head to head against Death Guard and you just let them dictate who fights and where you fight over, you'll lose pretty much every single time. If you play Death Guard and you just engage them when you want to engage them, and you want to jump around and make it difficult for them to engage you, I feel like I can beat Death Guard 90% of the time. Like, usually if I line up against Death Guard, it's literally, if I play my game right, I will win the game. So, I guess, take what you will from that. Yes, we can be a very strong army, but we're not with a fast army for sure, but we're not without our weaknesses. But then every army has its weaknesses, right? But I think it's also got, like, quite a high skill cap, Blood Angels. So it probably keeps you coming back and playing for a long period of time, probably. I was drawn to Blood Angels because the jump packs, but they used to have cool dreadnoughts and the tanks used to have overcharged engines. Yeah, I mean, right now we're very much a jump pack army, but the cool tanks might make a return. I mean, we still have the Ball Predator. The unique dreadnoughts might return. I mean, any unit that gets taken away, I was going to say, would probably come back, right? Like, look at the land speeder. Like, nobody would have probably predicted the land speeder was coming back, right? Because they took it away at the start of last edition, right? And replaced it with those thunder strikes. The thunder strikes never really took off. Like, I mean, some people bought one, but like, no one. You very rarely went to a tournament and saw people running 2 or 3 thunder strikes. You know, if we go back a little bit, like a lot of Blood Angels players did go to tournaments with like 2 or 3 land speeders. That was quite common. Land speeders were really good for Blood Angels. I feel like I used to often have a couple of land speeders in my list. Like, when I say often, I'm talking like every week, right? The Sanguiner got kneecapped. I think the Sanguiner will get new rules. He'll get changed. He might even go back to the way he was before, where he was more of an aura type character. He honestly wasn't bad as an aura character as well. His aura was really good. I know a lot of people like his intervention, but trust me, his aura was really good when he was an aura character. I liked him more personally when he was an aura character. Just because I thought his aura was one of the best. Like, it was literally the best aura you could get for Blood Angels. +1 to attacks to everybody within 6, right? It was just crazy. You know, like, if you had 2 units, combat units next to him, he could be granting you like 20 extra attacks. If you imagine most of our units have 4 or 5 attacks, if he's giving you +1, that's the equivalent of like 20% extra damage. It was huge. And it was like you could daisy chain one guy back to him and sprinkle that aura all the way around the whole damn board. I mean, you're not going to be able to daisy chain quite the same with the new coherency rules, but you'll definitely be able to like easily deep strike him somewhere that 2 units could get his aura again if they give him an aura back. So yeah. You would have to make a call on whether you want a really fast army, and if you think you can handle a fast army and you're willing to commit to it, then I think the Blood Angels is quite a rewarding army. It's not an easy army, but I'm here with a video every week telling you how to get better, so there's that. Not every Space Marine chapter has a commander that makes YouTube content every week, I guess, right? We have the best characters in the lore. I'm still waiting for that next book, man. Like, I want a book after Darkness of the Blood. Every time I look up Darkness in the Blood, it surprises me how long it has been since we had a dedicated Blood Angels novel, you know that? And what's even more frustrating was the last ones were so good. I think that's possibly the frustrating part, is like Devastation and the Baal and possibly the Dante book were both amazing books. I really want to see another Blood Angels book written by Mick Fatson. I asked a GW employee if the new Vanguard veterans would get hand flamers, and he couldn't tell me. I'm sweating here. Yeah, they're never... Random GW employee in the store is never going to be privy, I guess, Mick Fatson, to what the rules team are coming up with. But yeah, I think the change away from, like you said, like all the customization and the hand flamers and stuff it's a little bit frustrating for people. I was gonna say, McFatson, are you gonna have to go play Salamander? Like, do Salamanders even get enough flamers for you now? You're gonna have to move to like triple Ball Predator and like Land Raider Redeemer, because that's the only way you're gonna get like a crap load of flamers, I feel like. But hey, Overwatch is gonna be better if you've got flamers in the new edition, right? Because you can't really have your Overwatch baited out anymore, which is kind of nice. It was always really frustrating when somebody moved something and it was like too tempting to Overwatch. Well, that's not going to really happen anymore, right? They can move a really tempting thing out for Overwatch, but you can just wait till the end of the turn. Well, Ball Predators stay. I mean, they'll stay at least until the Blood Angels get a new codex. I guess that's as much as we know. Yeah, they have said that Legends will be in the app for the new edition, but I mean, I guess I suppose the thing is, if you're a tournament player that doesn't really play Legends and you just want models for tournaments, it's not ideal to know what to do, I guess, right? Or it's not ideal to know what to buy. If Death Company's got their pistols back, I'd 180 into them. Yeah, Death Company can't even take hand flamers anymore, right? It's just plasma pistols and infernal pistols in a weird combination. Death Company are still in the weird situation where they still don't have like, there isn't a box of Death Company for sale on the Games Workshop site, and that's going on like 2 years now. That's such a weird situation. That's why I'm not convinced Death Company aren't going to change, man. Because I feel like if they weren't going to change them, they would have released a box for them ages ago. But the fact they haven't released a box really makes me think, like, what on earth are they thinking about Death Company? Like, why is there no box for them? What are they thinking? Have you heard about the community event for Space Marines vs Orcs? What do you think the strat vs Orcs as Blood Angels is going to be? The strat to beat Orcs is to sit out of charge range and shoot them and shoot them and shoot them, and then be the one that makes the charge. An Orc player is going to call his Wah as early as possible. I mean, he realistically wants to call it in turn 1 and engage into you in turn 1, but if you don't do, like, if you deploy badly, that can happen. But I mean, realistically, what probably happens is he advances his whole force forward in turn 1, takes some casualties from shooting, and then calls his Wah and advances and charges everything into you. That's their play. Right? That's their whole strategy. Advance everything turn 1. Call the Wah turn 2. That's what they want to do. So realistically, you want to disrupt that, so you want to hold far enough back that they do not have, like, they might be able to still call their Wah on like turn 2, but they're going to be able to make like 1 charge. And then they're sitting in a situation where they're like, they don't really want to call their Wah on turn 2, they want it in turn 3, but they also don't want to give up a whole other turn of just moving forward. That's the decision you need to force Orc players to make. Because typically, if they're getting to turn 3 and they still haven't called their Wah, they've got a big problem, right? It's like because their army is all about like momentum in the early turns. Do you think there's going to be a big Blood Angels refresh in 11? I don't know, man. I mean, how long is a piece of string, right? Yeah, I mean, some people would argue we already got a refresh, yeah? You know, we got some new Sangre Guard. We got some new characters. Who knows if Games Workshop class that as our refresh? If they do class it as a refresh, then what can we expect this edition? Well, I would expect one model, right? Because that's typically what you get. You know, if we go back a couple editions, we got Mephiston and like a new lieutenant. If we go back to the edition before, I think we got Dante. So yeah, you could expect one model. I mean, our codex will be very light. That's the only thing, Andonius. Like, if you imagine the... You know, the Death Company captains with jump packs. If you imagine that those aren't really units, because, I mean, they are and they aren't, right? Like, they're a Death Company captain with a jump pack, Death Company captain on foot, is there a third one? No, maybe just the two. And then we've got like, you've got a lot of junk there that's not really that useful, right? Because, like, the Death Company captain with the sustained hits, I don't know how he's ever better than just a generic chaplain with +1 to wound. I mean, maybe in a few situations he is better, but I think the safer play is to just always have the +1 to wound on the chaplain. So you've got a few units in that codex that are almost completely redundant, and plus they don't really even have models, right? Like Death Company captain with a jump pack doesn't exist as a model. Death Company on foot, Death Company captain on foot doesn't exist on a model. You know, like, there's a few weird bits in our codex at the moment where it's like, I would say our codex is pretty light in terms of like actual unique models in the codex. Considering Death Company don't have a box to buy at the moment, that makes it, and then those characters don't exist either. What have we actually got? Like the named characters in the Sangre Guard and the Val Predator, that's it, that's the whole codex. So 2 units, the Sangard and the Val Predator. And like the 4 named characters, Dante, Lamartes, Astaroth. There's someone else, right? Mephiston, that's it. That's the whole codex, six things. You know, like if our whole codex is 6 things, why do you have to spend $40 in a book for those 6 things? Like, there's a lot of money to spend for 6 things. I mean, I'm probably missing something else. Yeah, there's the Sangre Priest on foot. Okay, 7 things. The Sanguinar, maybe. 8 things. Still, I feel like it's light. Never buy the books, it's a total waste of cash. I was just saying at the start of the stream, Krychek, people are buying the old codexes. I just sold 9th edition Codex Black Templars today. I got $11 for it. I was happy. I mean, it was just sitting on a shelf, taking up space. $11, you know, that buys my kid their next set of football boots or something, you know? Saves me some pennies. I don't know if I would have ever read Codex 9th edition Black Templars again in my life. So yeah, it was my friend Brett was saying he's been getting good money selling his old codexes. I think he said he just sold two old codexes for $50. I'm like, what? People are paying that much for old codexes? Alright. I guess let me start listing mine. I don't need them. I'm not going back to the old editions. That's crazy. I've not bought a rule book or a codex since 5th edition. You rebel. How dare you? No, it's alright. I don't... Do you, man. You know, back when I was a kid, we used to photocopy the books all the time. If someone had the book, we would just photocopy the pages or the data sheets that we need. God forbid you bring along an Imperial agent and you need the whole book for the one data sheet for the Calidus assassin. Yeah, well, that's a great point. I haven't bought Codex Imperial agents ever. If I need the data sheet for a Calidus assassin, I'll ask somebody and get a full copy. Or I'll take a photo on my phone. Because that's scandalous, yeah, paying like $40 for one data sheet. Guys, I got like 5 more minutes. Yeah. And I gotta peace out here. But yeah, we'll do like there'll be a stream tomorrow. It'll be titled something weird, like Blood Angels 11th edition rules discussion or something. I don't quite know, but it's gonna be, we're not gonna look at people's army lists. We're just gonna talk about rules and anything like that people have questions on, or things that we need to sort out, like the fly stuff. I don't know what my I don't know how I'm going to structure that stream. I'm probably not going to put too much planning into it. I'm probably just going to come online and we'll talk, and if there's questions we'll answer them. Have you seen Tabletop's Force Organization to play 40k online? Would you ever consider photo scanning your army for us online players to use your units in our own army? I don't really know exactly what you're talking about, but if you send me details, I could have a look into it. I don't mind sharing photos of my army. I don't think my army is particularly well painted, but if you want photos of it, I could do that for sure. I kind of feel like I'm a battle-ready painter. The painting, I like painting, man. I think it's quite chilled. If I wasn't speaking to you guys, I would just be watching some like absolute trash on TV, or I would be probably listening to metal, because I like metal. But I quite like the sort of zen feeling of painting and the rewarding feeling of finishing models. But I don't think that, like, I'm like, I like doing it, but I'm not. Somebody actually said, I can't remember who said it in the comment this week, but somebody said in one of my comments this week that they thought that, let me see if I can put this gun back on. They said that they thought my painting had leveled up. Because I guess I've been painting on this channel now for the channel is, I think it's 6 years old in August. And obviously I was painting for 4 or 5 years before then. So I guess I've been painting like 10 years now. So my stuff doesn't totally suck anymore. And someone was like, it wasn't even that nice a comment. It was just like, John, I think your painting's leveled up since you started. And I was like, do you know what? That is really that's just made me feel good about myself. I felt quite chuffed. So it was such a throwaway comment, but it made me feel quite good that I was like, somebody somewhere. And then someone else said, your Death Company Ballistus Dreadnought has inspired me to finally paint my Ballistus Dreadnought as Death Company. So I just had 2 really lovely comments about my painting this week. But I do still think my army is very average. Like, I'm not a competitive painter. Like, I enjoy getting a good result, but I'm not going to lose sleep over not the best painted, right? What metal do I like? Pretty much, they've got to sing. I don't like it for the most part if it's screaming. One of the bands that I used to listen to a lot were Trivium, and I think they were right on the edge, and like they mostly sing, but some of their best songs are probably screaming. So Trivium are right on the edge. If we go more screamy than Trivium, I don't like it. Or maybe, you know, I feel like I need to be able to sing along with the music to a certain extent. So if it's just screaming, then that's probably too heavy metal for me. But yeah, I mean, I noticed Five Finger Death Punch had a new single out. I feel like it's been ages since I listened to Five Finger Death Punch. I think I was listening to one of their albums during COVID, F8 or something, quite like that. Avenged Sevenfold, quite like them. The standard one, obviously, the cliche one is Metallica. I've listened to Metallica since, do you know what? I think the first album I picked up was the Black Album. So I started listening to Metallica in like 95, 96. I think if you ask me, my favourite 3 Metallica albums though are Justice, Master of Puppets, and Ride the Lightning. So like what I think everybody likes those albums by Metallica the most. But yeah, I like metal as long as they're not screaming too much. I would say as I've got older, I might have even moved a little bit more into hard rock than metal, so something a little bit lighter. Justice is the best for sure. You know, the one song I really like on Justice that they never play live is Eye of the Beholder, and I guess like they literally never play it live, and it's got such a killer riff at the start. Apparently James Hetfield hates playing it, and like I think they've played it live like twice in like 20, well, how many years since Justice? Like probably 30 years. They played it like live twice. I really like Eye of the Beholder. Do you see what I see? Anytime that song comes on in the car, like I just gotta turn it up. Which is random because like a lot of people would say there's better songs on Justice, but whatever. And Avenged Sevenfold is my favourite. I like the old Avenged Sevenfold stuff probably more. I must admit I've not kept up with them. I like the album that had Backcountry on it. And I think I like the album after Backcountry as well. I can't remember. So it's got the Heaven song in it, Slice of Heaven or something. I don't really know In Flames. But yeah, audiobooks and metal music, and then drivel on television. I think I'm ready to. I think my edge highlighting on this is as good as it's gonna get. I think next session I'm gonna start washing this. I'm not gonna try and paint in the back of it too much because it's just going to be a nightmare to get in there, and it's hard to see in there anyway. Blind Guardian, I'm sorry, I don't know them. Do you know what I miss though? I miss like literal CDs, right? You know, like I used to like getting albums on CD and then putting them into the record or into the CD player and going through that. Now everyone's just got Spotify. And you don't listen. I don't listen to music the same way. You know, like when you used to go to the record store and you bought a CD, you would come home with the CD, you would put the CD in, you would listen to like track 1 to 12, and usually the single on the CD would be like track, let's say it's in the first 4 tracks typically, I would imagine. Like Enter Sandman is track 1. I feel like Master of Puppets is track 2. let me think, what was the single on one of those new Metallica albums? The Day That Never Comes. It's like track 4. So like, I'm trying to think, Green Day, Nimrod was like, Nimrod, the first song was Nice Guys Finish Last. You know, I think that was one of their singles. So the singles were always at the start of the record. But like, sometimes the best songs on any given record are like 7, 8, 9, 10, the ones that aren't the singles, right? But you just don't do that anymore. I feel like I need to get back. Like, I don't even know if I've got a CD player in the house, but I think that, like, I miss the way that you used to buy a record. You just come home, you listen to the record, and typically every record always had some gems on it. Like I said, like track 7, track 8, track 9. You know, I remember listening to a 9 Inch Nails album. God, and there's so many 9 Inch Nails albums. But like, I feel like, and I could be wrong here, it's been ages, a song by 9 Inch Nails that I really love is like, We're in This Together Now. Do you know it? And like, I miss friends sharing mixtapes. Exactly, yeah. So it's like, you just don't get that anymore. Like, people will link you like a song on Spotify or something, but the way that we consume music in general as like society is just so different. And I suppose there's nothing wrong with it, right? But like, at the same time, I miss iPods without screens. Do you know what I would like an iPod that still has a screen, but nothing. You know, like, you remember the one that used to say the song name and nothing else on the screen, like with the little rotating dial. Like, I don't want a fucking smartphone, or a smart screen that does everything. I just want the old one with the song title on it. That's what I would quite like. But I think that's just dead now, right? But yeah, I think the way we consume music is just so different now, and I feel like I miss the old, whatever you want to call it, right? iPod Nano? No, I think it was just the old regular iPod, right? Like we're going back a while, right? Like iPod Generation 1. Yeah, like this bitch. Remember this? Yeah, like this. This is what I would quite like. Fast forward back, play. It's fucking £300. Ah! This is why I don't have one. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This thing's probably got like a gig of memory. It's got 5 gig of memory. It's it's more expensive than an iPhone. But yeah, this was the classic, right? Where you just had this device to listen to music. You didn't do any of the other shit. You didn't get distracted by social media. You just sat on your bed, or at least I sat on my bed, and you listened to your music. And there was something about that I feel like we have lost, and I liked a lot. But I tell you right now, I'm not spending £269 on a fucking iPod. Jesus Christ. Alright, Grandpa. Yeah, thanks, man. There was something simple though, right? There was something simple about it. It's like, you never got a CD and you like got home and you opened the album cover. You know, it's like the old video games, right? You never had a manual for an old video game. Like, these days you don't get, like, I liked the fact that you got like a 50-page manual that was like, you know, here's your hotkeys and here's your... You ever play a video game where you had like the bit of paper and you had to like roll it out? You know, like, these are all the hotkeys that you need for this video game. And this video game is so complicated that we need to ship you like a bit of paper to put next to your keyboard because there's so many fucking keybinds. It's like that phrase that Obi-Wan had. It was like, you know, like, a simpler weapon for a more civilized time or something. That's not even... Yeah, that's what Obi-Wan said, wasn't it? Wargaming has become something for old people. Yeah. Maybe. A dark time, a time before the Empire. That was the quote I was looking for, I think. Oh, shit. Yeah, I used to buy video games at like the marketplace, you know, like we had like a marketplace, like basically like the equivalent of like a car boot sale where people would rock up with like the old games that they completed and you would buy them. And I got some of my favoriteest games ever. I remember I think I paid like $15 for, yeah, I think it was either 15 or $20 for Metal Gear Solid, and it was secondhand, right? And my parents like berated me, like my mum berated me. She was like, "You paid like $20 for this secondhand game." And I was like, "Yeah, but my friend at school has been talking about it. It's supposed to be brilliant, you know?" And she was like, "You're never taking that much money to the market again. How stupid are you? $20 for like a pre-owned game." And I still have that copy of Metal Gear Solid, and it's still the fucking one of the most awesome games that I've ever played in my life. So you know, good old days, man. Some of those old games have gone crazy up in value as well. Like PlayStation 1 games have gone insanely up in value. Especially if you've got like the originals. I mean, Metal Gear Solid at $20, this would have been in like... $20 probably was a lot of money. This would have been like... This would have been the year it launched, probably. So like... 1997? So probably for a second-hand game, $20 in 1997 was actually like I got ripped off. Well, possibly I played close to what it would have been new. But I think I'd been wanting it for a while, you know, so I paid it. But yeah, I remember my mum going crazy on me for it. Snake! Snake! What would it have retailed for? Nah, in the UK, I think in the 90s, games probably retailed for 30, 35. In the 90s, the pound was a lot stronger. Like the dollars, we were at one point in the 90s, it was like 2 to 1, two. So like £1 bought 210 cents. Like it was over 2 to 1. On that note, I'm gonna leave you guys, but I'm gonna see if I can actually see how good it was. I know it was. Can you see that far back? Oh, they only show 10 years back. Nah, surely we can get longer. Oh yeah, look, we can go all the way back to. Where was it? Back when Britain actually had a good economy. Let's see. In 2005, it was 1.9. I'm sure it got above 2 at some point. In 1990, it was 1.9 as well. No, I thought we got above... Oh, we did. Here we go. Look. So in 2007, we had a good economy. £1 bought $2. Yeah, and then we shafted it all the way down to 1.34. We're doing great in Britain, by the way. The Queen's money back then, yeah, different times. Yeah, very different times. Alright, I gotta run, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you all got your pre-orders today. If you didn't, then it sounds like you can still pre-order because it's so expensive. It hasn't sold out. If the economy here had still been good, would that mean that Warhammer was more expensive, or would it have been cheaper in America? I can't understand. If our economy was really strong... No, then, because our economy is crap at the moment, Warhammer is cheaper, right? In America. So if our economy had managed to stay at that insanity of like £2, it would have been like $450 for the new box set. I did see that a few people used my referral codes today, Naputkin. So I certainly do appreciate that. Thank you. If you did use it, then I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm very proud of my 4-year-old doing his first Warhammer model. A little bit disappointed he wanted to do the Ultramarines, but it wasn't Ultramarine on the box. So this is his first Warhammer model. I guess I wouldn't be playing Warhammer 40,000, I'd be playing Walmart Hammer 1776. Yeah, my question is, how did we screw up our economy so badly? But we apparently did it. I don't know how we managed it, but we apparently did it. I'm sure you could dive into it, ask ChatGPT what the problem was. But yeah, no, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow night. And yeah, pre-order it if you've not, because I guess it's probably your last chance, right? Alright, take care. Thanks for watching. Peace. Good night.